Hello, everyone. I'm David Hodl. I'm the head of business development for Invetech Cell Therapy Group. What I'd like to talk about in our session today is actually a step beyond sort of our core capabilities in manufacturing for cell therapies and regenerative medicine. One of the challenges that companies are facing right now is integrating ancillary processes that may contain open steps with closed core systems that are evolving into a more mature, integrated, automated manufacturing system. I think really the cartoon says it all here. When you look at an integrated core manufacturing system as opposed to an ancillary system that has open steps, something just doesn't fit right. Now, there's some reasons why those processes don't fit right. As the core manufacturing processes become more closed, when you're looking at open steps in ancillary processes, there's some contributing factors to them remaining open. One of those contributing factors from a media perspective is actually the packaging of media components. The media components are still coming in formats that are not conducive to large-scale manufacturing. So as you can see in the image on the slide here, very often companies are getting media in pallets, in 1 liter or 2 liter containers, screw top containers that they have to take under an isolator. The same can be said about viral vectors. So non-standard packaging in viral vectors leads to the need to go under an isolator to get the proper amount of vector out to begin a transduction process. So the ability to actually manage viral vector solutions and manage media formulation in a large-scale process becomes more and more critical as manufacturing scale increases. So some of the challenges are eliminating the isolator to mix and prepare media, closing and automating the filling of viral vectors and media into containers that are compatible with integrated manufacturing processes, and packaging viral vectors in very easy to use packaging in a closed automated process. So being able to take that viral vector suspension and aliquoting it into smaller volume bags that can then be utilized for individual transduction processes in an autologous manufacturing system. We've taken those challenges to heart, and you can see on the left side of the slide, we're displaying here 3 systems that we've developed to automate unit operations in a manufacturing process. I want to talk briefly about the media formulation system that you see on the top of the slide. And that system is really the topic of a very high-level case study that I'm going to present right now. We were engaged by a client who is moving towards commercial scale manufacturing to help them automate their media formulation process. In that process, they were formulating up to 100 liters of media per manufacturing shift, but they were doing this manually. And this became very much of a challenge as far as managing the time, labor resources needed, and managing really the process variability. The system that you see was configured specifically for this client's process, and it really consists of 3 different components. There is a media formulation station. There's a mixer, a 100-liter mixer that's also involved here in this process, and then the actual filling piece of that, which you can see on the right side of the image. As our client moved to this process, one of the things that they were able to do as they implemented this system is actually move into a Class C, Class D clean room. So they were able to downgrade their clean room environment. They also went to less operational staff they were able to save on time, labor. They were able to downgrade their clean room space. They were also able to increase their throughput between 5 and 7 times what their manual process was able to produce. So this is hugely beneficial to them from a efficiency and a COGS perspective. So much so that they are looking at deploying additional systems into other manufacturing locations. To go into a little bit more specifics about the formulation and fill platforms, there's really 4 things we look at that are key benefits to employing a system like this. I think one thing to point out too is when you look at the design of these systems, they're very much designed for a commercial manufacturing environment. Stainless steel build, surfaces that are readily accessible for cleaning and disinfecting. Touch screens are glass touch screens. They're flush mounted, so there aren't any crevices or areas where dirt or bacteria can accumulate. And they're actually very, very ergonomically designed. They're designed to be used by a single operator, designed to be very operator friendly. So you can actually reduce your number of FTE in a manufacturing suite to support these ancillary operations. Very cost effective. Again, being able to take these systems, since they are closed systems, being able to take these systems into a lower grade clean room, really looking at single operator for operating the unit, and with configurable single-use sets for each one of these systems, you're able to very much reduce waste in your process as well. The robust platforms, as I mentioned, constructed for use in a GMP manufacturing facility. They are GMP and 21 CFR 11 compliant, and operating systems in these systems are able to integrate with MES systems. We can also deploy these as either a DCS-based operating system. From a scalable perspective, when these units are configured, we take into account the client's processes and allow for scalability. So there is the opportunity to use multiple volumes of bags in the system. From a programming perspective, a configuration perspective, we can program in different recipes for either formulation or filling. So you can have multiple operations on a single unit. And those recipes are also flexible. So again, a very configurable platform that could fit into a standard GMP manufacturing environment. To deploy these systems, we also support automating the ancillary processes with our laboratory services group in our San Diego office. The laboratory services group here really meshes cell biology with engineering. And one of our goals in this process is to make sure that as we support a manufacturing process with scalable automation, that we don't impact the biology of that process. We want to make sure that the product that you intend to have coming out the end of your process is actually the product that you're manufacturing. We have several core services that we can deploy that enable that. Our cell therapy laboratory services offering includes supporting integration of unit operations, process optimization, industrialization. So really, how do you take that lab-based manufacturing process and apply it to a larger commercial scale piece of equipment? And then process characterization as well. So making sure that what you're producing out of a scalable unit operation is actually what you intend to produce. So I want to thank you very much for your time, and thank you for attending this session. But I also want to leave you with a question. When you look at your manufacturing processes, can automation help you retire your isolators? If you think they can, please get in touch with us. Our contact information is here. And once again, thank you for attending our session. We look forward to hearing from you.